Afternoon, America. Here's to you. We need to talk. We need to talk because of what we've been looking at. I'll take a look at what that number ended at. I know what it ended at, but I'm just making sure. Yeah, 2.5%. Anyway, here's what I want to talk to you about. We're going to start. No. Let's start with some good news. Let's start with some very good news. I went to the eye doctors today. Though I'll try to make this short. For those of you that don't know, I have wet macular degeneration, age-related macular degeneration, AMD, in my right eye. And eventually, it could make me go blind. I have some in my left eye. The whole thing, probably left eye, I'll croak from something else before it does. Right eye, that was iffy. Went to a retina specialist, and the retina specialist offered me a thing. He said, look, we're working with Roche Pharmaceuticals, and we're working on a therapy that involves the use of a new drug of theirs and gene therapy. I said, sign me up. We did. For a number of years, I got once a month an injection in my right eye. Well, for a couple of years. And then switched over to getting this new medicine after the gene therapy part of it was done. Switched over to this new medicine, and it made a huge difference. My right eye now looks very close to normal. I probably have more problems with cataracts than I have with the wet macular degeneration. However, last month, a part of this had been being paid for by a group out there called My Good Days, and they do, and what they do is help people with serious health problems, especially elderly people. Got that. They do like to work with eyes. Got that. So they were paying a big part of my deductible. I didn't even know what it was. I was just paying the $35 deductible I had to pay. Well, My Good Days lost a lot of their funding, and they had to stop. It would take $400 an injection to keep going on this medication, or go to an older, less effective one that would have cost me $50 each time, which I had decided I was going to do. I reached out to the company. I reached out to my retina specialist. Went today and got told we're doing the Vabysmo, which is the good drug. It's the one that works very well for me. I said, oh, I thought we were going to do the Avastin, the old one. He said, nope, we've gotten some good news. We have a sample here, and there's more coming. It would seem that the company listened. I was one of your guinea pigs, and I can't afford $400 each time I need this. In addition, my eye, after 13 weeks, looks like I don't have wet macular degeneration. It looks like it did 13 weeks ago. There's a possibility, because of the gene therapy and the combination, that this has gone into remission, which is rare, but it's a strong possibility at this point. We'll see where it goes. So there's the good news. To me, y'all know what I do when I'm not doing this. I do some very pretty leather work, and I kind of need my eyes for that. But anyway, that's the good news. Today, and the last few days, have not all been good news, and you're going to have to bear with me a little bit here because I had shifted how I do this using better technology, and my iPad is usually behind the camera, and I type out fully. Well, actually, I do text to speech and then correct the punctuation. I type out fully what I'm going to say. I didn't have time to do that today. And when you do get the eye injection, your eyes don't do real good that day. So I couldn't do all of that. so I'm reading off of my notes, which is not particularly easy. But I entitled this one today, "The Fix is In," because I believe it is. A big part of what I'm going to say here and now is speculation. I am not going to tell you that these are facts. You know, most of the time, I look shit up and I know the facts. I'm not going to tell you this is factual. This is an educated opinion, but a well-educated opinion. The fix is in. Now, do you really think that this market crash wasn't intentional? Because I don't believe that shit for a moment. Here's a big question. Who makes money when the market crashes? Y'all know this. Simple economics. It's the people who can afford to buy the stocks at bargain basement prices. And then we do what we do. After the economy goes to shit, we finally get the shit stains out that caused it. The Democrats go back in and we fix the economy. Yeah, how many times have you seen it? The last time we had a balanced budget, who was president? We've done it a lot. And we're going to do it again. But when the market's down, rich people that can afford it, they get bargain basement stocks. It's easy. They've got the money to do it. They've got plenty of cash behind them. So, a few $1 billion, big fucking deal. Or let's say a couple $100 million, big fucking deal. They buy up the shit, bargain basement prices. They wait for us to fix it. And they clean up. Who does Trump have himself surrounded with? Millionaires, billionaires. Now, this is a thing that I'm looking for because I'd like to see this, but I understand it's been taken down somehow. Conspiracy theory, all you want, I don't know. I've not seen it. But I was told today that a person that I trust implicitly saw a video of Trump in a more private moment in the Oval Office, surrounded by his rich buddies, talking about market crashes, looking to them and saying, how much did you make in it? $6 million. How much did you make? $9 million. Back and forth, supposedly. But now, the video that was sent to her is no longer available. But it's supposedly out there. That's to you guys. See if you can find this damn thing. It's still out there someplace. If it's on the internet, it's forever. Now, another big question. Tariffs. We know that they're a tax on us. We know this. Why does Trump think that they're such a big deal? Why does he think that this is the way to make America great again? Well, he thinks this. In his first administration, and this I got from a bunch of sources, you can find it best encapsulated by Rachel Maddow, but it's all over the place out there. When he first went in, he said, I need a finance and trade advisor to Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner, in turn, went to Amazon and looked at the titles of books and found like one kind of salacious one that I can't remember fully what the name is now. It's in her video, but something like How China is Killing Us or Death by China or something like that. Written by a fellow named Peter Navarro. Well, instead of just looking at titles, he actually got this one and read it. And throughout the book, Peter Navarro talked about what we have to do is sanction China with tariffs. Tariff, tariff, tariff. It's the only way to save America. And the only way that he knew this was by the financial guru that taught him. And he names him in the book many, many times. This fellow's name is Ron Vera. Mix those letters up. What do the letters spell when you shift them around? They spell Navarro. Ron Vera never existed. Just like Trump using pseudonyms, so did Peter Navarro. He made the guy up. There was no call. This is just what that asshole thinks, who has an honorary degree in finance, by the way. You know how many honorary degrees there are out there? And how many people are Dr. So-and-so as an honorary degree? Some of them earned, some of them not. Yeah, the guy that gave Trump all of this about tariffs is Peter Navarro. What else do we know about Peter Navarro? Filthy fucking rich. Lots of money. You can bet your ass he cleaned up. Today, it dropped another. No, I don't want to subscribe. Leave me alone. It dropped another 1,000 points or 2.5%. We had that big gain yesterday. Now we're getting to what I'm really thinking about here. Yesterday, we had a huge gain. Some of those stocks that went up precipitously yesterday got sold off in this huge sell-off today. Let's think about this for a minute. We put on a bunch of tariffs all the way up to, by the way, it's not 104% on China. It's 124% on China. That's the one we're not taking off. That's still going to hurt us. Tremendously going to hurt us. We'll talk another time about trade deficits. Some places make things easier and cheaper. That's why we buy them. But we have laws here that won't allow that. Oh, build America, build America. And I agree with that. However, you're going to have to be ready to pay higher prices if you do that. There's also things out there that there's a trade deficit with this or that country. There's stuff here that we can't make because of climate. There's stuff that we can't grow here because of climate. There's reasons for it. That's another day. But anyway, who made money on this? The rich guys made money on this. Now, this whole upward adjustment yesterday got its ass kicked today, and we are not, we're still way down, people. We're back under 40,000. We're at 39,593.66. Look at the last couple of years. Look how much of a loss that is. We're still looking at $10 trillion lost. The only thing about that is, okay, those numbers weren't made up to, it crashed again today. We had the sell-off of many of the stocks that had dropped off precipitously before. They got bought back. They got bought up when they were way, way, way down, and then they got sold off again today. Think about that for a minute. Just think about that for a minute. Now think about another thing. Who does this really hurt? We know who made money. Who does it really hurt? Damn sure doesn't hurt the rich guys. It hurts us. It hurts us. It hurts the people with a 401k because they don't know the first fucking thing about the markets. Okay, I'm going to invest in a 401k. Usually a pretty safe bet. The good ones make anywhere from 8 to 15%, the money that goes into it, on a yearly over and over and over and over. And that's why you keep the money in there for a long time. and you end up with a lot more than what you put in. That's all good, but not when it crashes. That's when it hurts like fuck for people like us. Now you need to think about the tariffs that remain. They remain on the countries that said that, nope, we're not, you're going to see Canada once again get hit. And they're one of our closest allies. They're our neighbors. But they're saying, we haven't decided what we're doing yet. Wait till you see what happens. If you think this is the last time it's going to crash, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And it's going to be for the same reason. Why do you think the tariffs weren't called off? They were postponed. They were postponed for 90 days. In other words, I can put them back on anytime I want. Let's prove I'm a tough guy. Or, conversely, let's prove I'm a tough guy because it's going to crash the fucking market again. You can find videos of him talking about that he hopes the market crashes because that's a good time to make money. Now we got that. We're looking at where the tariffs still remain. China, our biggest trading partner. And we do have a deficit in trading with China. By the way, guys, it's not agriculture. Dumb fucks. We import from them yearly $585 billion. $585 billion. Now multiply that by 1.24. That's what it's going to actually cost us. Who's that going to hurt? It's going to hurt you because we're going to have to do something about those cheap goods we've been getting from them. Now, we probably do have to do something about that. But do we want to do it and cut our own throats to do it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, what happens when we attempt to make it here? Prices go up. Because we can't pay here $20 a day to a factory worker. We've got to pay them $20 an hour. It's going to cost a lot more. It's going to cost a shit ton more. What does that do? That brings on inflation, bad inflation. And you're going to feel it worse than anyone. He's not going to feel it. His rich buddies aren't going to feel it. They're busy fucking around with the stock market. You're going to feel it. I'm going to feel it. The inflation is going to hit. Then what happens? The Fed has to do what the Fed does. They have to raise interest rates. Do you see the domino effect here? Now the interest rates go up. That means less buying. By the way, we're already seeing it. That means from the interest rates going up, less automotive sales because who the fuck wants to pay 20% on a car loan? Less house starts, less refinancing of mortgages because shit, I'm paying 7.5% now. It's going to be 8, not. It's going to be 12%. Oh, holy shit! We're going to see more people out on the street. Is the bottom line. We're going to see more people out on the street. Now we get interest higher. The first thing is that real estate. Now, tell me something. Who do we know that might make some money on a depressed real estate market? Anybody you can think of? I don't think you have to think long and hard about that one. But now, compare all of the things that are happening, including what's going on with the stock market, including the crazy shit. This is real, people. Look it up. Now, you're not going to find it in major news because, honestly, major news, it's not fake news, but it's all spun real bad. And if the story doesn't quite fit who they're supposed to be, they don't publish it. But one of the things that is happening out there for the 43 pounds of fentanyl that was captured at the border, and that's the reason why we have to have tariffs, and that's the reason why we're going to be stricter at the border. One of the things that's happening, and I know this for a fact, not from, some weird article, not from some Facebook post, not from some tweet, and you will find it in Reddit Substacks. I know it personally from somebody that I know has friends in Canada, came across, which many of them that are on that very long border. We have one of the longest borders. I think it is the longest border in the world between two countries. And they're very good neighbors. They come down here and vacation. We go up there and vacation. We go up there and buy cheaper drugs because we're too fucking stupid to hold big pharmaceutical companies to the same standards, but that's another story too. They come down here a lot to go shopping. They come down here to vacation. They do a lot of things. Coming down across the border now, border agents, some of them, are asking the question, what do you think of President Trump? If you don't give the right answer, you are fucked if you want to be somebody that comes to America. Personal account, was asked that question. They told the truth. They are now banned from entering the country for 5 years. And you can find incident after incident of anywhere from 3 to 5 years, one of them 7 years, arbitrarily banned from entering the country because they told the truth. You'll also find a story out there of someone who tried to do this, and they told the truth, and they said, nope, you're out of here. Sorry. And so they went to another border crossing, not too far away, asked the same question. Well, this time they lied. Only thing is, they'd already been put on a list. That's not what you said down there. You're now banned for 3 years. That's the America we're living in right now, people. All of these things are in Project 2025. If you remember, he disowned it a long time ago while he was running for office. Yeah, well, watch what's happening. Now, watch what's happening. Because I'm going to tell you to do a thing that may not be in your best interest. I'm going to tell you to do it peacefully. I'm going to tell you to do it Martin Luther King's way. I'm going to tell you to do it Nelson Mandela's way. I'm going to tell you to do it Mahatma Gandhi's way. And that is, speak truth to authority. Stand up. Get out on the street. Let your voice be heard. That's going to lead to another thing, perhaps. Perhaps. If enough Americans wake up, it won't. But it, too, is in Project 2025. Just itching for an excuse to either declare martial law, cancel the next election, so it'll probably happen before 2026, if they can, or institute the Insurrection Act, which will have the same result. It doesn't matter. People are pissed, rightfully so. We have a president that just crashed the market intentionally so that he and his cronies can make money. Do it the right way, but you got to take to the streets. You absolutely have to. And it has to be like the hands-off protest was. About the only real problem you found there was a guy that got head-butted because he started pushing women. So what's he do? MAGA idiot runs to his truck and gets his AR. Outside of that, it was a relatively uneventful day with a lot of people who really care standing out there and making some noise the way we should be doing it. That's how it has to be. Make that noise. Also, look at Project 2025 and their whole immigration thing, as it is now affecting people coming here from Canada and affecting the country of Canada with these stupid fucking tariffs. Folks, this right now is, I guess we're going to have to call this Fourth Reich, because the guy that he acts just like had the Third Reich, so we might as well call this one the Fourth Reich, and we are in it, and it is in action. We absolutely have to protest. We have to not only make calls, but get directly involved. And I mean directly. Make sure that there are enough people out there to make a difference. Make sure that there are enough people going to the polls and saying, sorry, GOP, you went full fucking MAGA. We can't have that shit. That ain't America. Yep, you may have to hold your nose and vote for Democrats, some of you sensible Republicans. That may have to happen. Would you rather have a guy in power that will crash the stock market to the tune of $10 trillion while he's adding trillions of dollars of debt in his wanting tax cuts? Maybe the only time I'm going to praise the Freedom Caucus in my life. They're the ones standing firm against this Republican budget. They're saying, no, we cannot add that much more to the debt. We cannot do that. Freedom Caucus? I guess hell is freezing over. Somewhere around the 6th gate, I'm sure you're going to find some ice crystals. They're the ones that are stopping it. Do not forget for a moment his message the morning, yesterday morning, that this is a good time to buy. That was to his friends. He was telling them that. I'm about to pull the plug. Buy now, I'm about to pull the plug. And a couple of hours later, he announces the pause. It was intentional, people. And it's illegal as hell. There's enough there. If all of that can be proven, and again, I told you, this is speculation on my part, but God, I feel it in my soul. If that can be proven, if that ain't impeachable, I don't know what the fuck is. He needs to get out of there. Billionaires and celebrities are all he has surrounded himself with, not experts. I posted on my personal page, it's kind of a pie chart kind of thing that shows who are the people around him and how are they connected to him and what are they. Millionaires, billionaires, celebrities, and the people, Peter Navarro, who wrote Project 2025. That's what you're looking at. I posted that link. It's an AP News story. And it shows all of those connections. There should be enough there to impeach him too. Anyway, that's what I've got. Started with good news. Yeah, the rest of the news I gave you is pretty fucked up. I'm sorry. But that means you got to stand up. That's what I got, America. I love all of you. Now, as always, I am going to post a couple of links on this video as well as on the YouTube video when I post it there. One of them is an Amazon wish list. It's things that can really help make my life easier. The other one is a more direct way to help, and I could really use that this month. I got, I mentioned it last time. I got hit with a $400 bill that ain't nothing I could do about. I got to make that up somehow. So the other one is a PayPal account, and it is to me directly, and that will help. If you can help the channel, please do. In the meantime, stand up, do the right thing, push back the right way, and know that at least this one old guy in Tennessee loves you, America. Share this shit.